Previously on Where Are They Now?
Channel. My dad's wife, who is Monique,
which is my cousin.
Yeah. They asked me if I wanted to come to Don's show at the time, and me and Don really didn't know each other at
Which
that time.
was the We Are the Best Video Awards 5.
Like, if Joey would have continued to be the top dog of that, I could see me ended up leaving the crew. I'm an asshole. You know what I mean? I don't know what you guys want me to tell you.
That's a really good way to describe it.
I really am. I'm an asshole. So bringing out a person that is truly me and making it my own, I think it worked out really well.
And where's my luggage? But Don already hooked that up for me already.
Oh.
With this series, I think every episode had something interesting about it.
Doing that all the time would bring our friendship away from each other. Like, it would
and that's
bring,
why me and
like,
you clashed a lot.
Off the camera, it would just make it worse between us. Every weekend I was here busting my ass, trying to put out content for everyone so that, you know,
taking time out of your family too.
Right. And, you know, I just thought that, you know, Tyrone was putting extra work in, and it always seemed that way to me.
It was an MVP year for him though too, definitely.
I would be the best. I am the best. I'd probably be better than all of them if during that time, if I was here during that time. But I'm not. But as of right now, 2015 to 2019 now, I'm better than half of them. And I'm always going to be better. But, you know, do I say that they didn't have good years, all of them? Yeah. They're all good competitors. They all bust their ass. They all do what they need to do. But in my mindset, I'm always going to be the best.
Every story has its downfall.
The most, like, it made me cry, to be honest with you. It still bothers me to this day. You know, I feel like if I was in that category, I probably would have took home another one.
Now, the final thing I want to talk about on Where Are They Now with you is Tyrone. Now, you know, every story has its downfall.
Yeah.
And now, after winning Actor of the Year in 2015, we definitely saw a you were going through a lot of stuff in 2016.
Yeah. You know, I was going through past few years, I've been going through a rough life. You know, especially with my my son's mother and everything, you know. We don't get along, and we never get along, and it ruined a lot of things between my friendship with a lot of my friends, and it stopped making me do videos. It stopped making me being the person that I was. It made me unhappy. So, like, because of that, it stopped me from doing videos. It stopped me from having my friends. It stopped me from being around people.
Because, you know? I remember a lot around 2016, like, we did have good moments, but I remember at the same time, I realized that, like, you started to try to push me away a little bit because, you know, like, you were getting mad at cast members for always, like, you know, always just saying, like, oh, where's Jordan? Where's Jordan? And it's like, you know where the fuck I am. I'm taking care of my son. I'm taking care of my family. But a lot of people did not understand that because they did not have a kid.
Right.
And you don't understand unless you have a kid. Even in Ben's speech at the award show, he even said, like, as a father, you know, it's hard. And he even said in that message, you know, even Jordan knows.
Yeah.
So not a lot of people understand that. And I think especially with our age range, a lot of people didn't understand that. So it clashed a little bit too. I know in 2016 you had lack of uploads because you felt like you were trying harder than everybody else. So that cocky attitude really became the demon in you, the devil. because you thought you were better than everybody else and you didn't have to earn nothing. You just won your award, and 2016 was just, a land sweep.
Right.
And I think the one thing that really caused you, this is, I think, your breaking point in 2016, was the We Are the Best Video Award 7. I remember that was one of the toughest conversations I ever had with somebody on the phone, because I know how much passion you have for DITB1, the heart you have for it. And I remember this was not my decision. I remember this was Eric's decision, because at the time Eric was the general manager of DITB1 / Donald's the Best One. And I remember he realized the changes he saw, and I remember it was his idea saying, maybe we put this new cast member, Bobby Sherman, in as the third person, but Jordan, we don't, because let's see where his loyalty stands. And I think for you really disagreed with that, because you really put in a lot of time.
At that time, it hurt me the most, from going from 2015, being your actor of the year, and busting your ass all throughout that year, and winning something that no one else, it's hard for everyone else to win, especially in 1 year. Your first year ever being there, you win a Rookie of the Year and you win an Actor of the Year, and it blows your fucking mind, especially being on the channel. That's what everyone works their ass off for that one thing.
There can only be one winner.
2016, it hurt me the most. It made me cry, to be honest with you. It still bothers me to this day. I feel like if I was in that category, I probably would have took home another one.
And stepped up.
Right. I would have stepped up right toward the end and definitely would have won my second one.
Because I remember, too, one thing that around 2016, because you were going through a lot, so you tried pushing people away, I remember. And that caused you not to really come on filming days a lot, because you were going through a bunch of shit at the time with not only me, but you were going through family problems as well. You were having issues with certain cast members that were coming over. I think you and Gage really started not to really get along with each other around this time, and you really just started to push yourself away from everybody. And then I think that's why we wanted to see where the loyalty stand. 2016, I think a lot of people sleep on, was the video that we did on my birthday weekend, where Tyrone and Neil got jumped by the Click. One of the probably the best Click video we did, hands down.
Oh yeah, definitely. It is 100% my favorite Click video ever. It's probably my favorite video that I've ever done.
And the revealing was definitely one of the ultimate scenes right there. And I think that's another reason why you were really pissed off, because I remember we had this huge push idea for you, because you came back after going through all the crap that you did, and
for weekends I busted my ass. Started
to come back, and then this big ass video we did, where you revealed yourself as Death Row for the Click. You revealed yourself, and I think that moment right there could have been something huge. But then I think a lot of your frustration came because after that big video we did, you were having some even more issues going on behind the scenes, and then you couldn't really make it, and that's when you didn't get in that category and you thought you deserved it.
Yeah. To this day, I still think that I did deserve it. I should have been there. I feel like there was no competition during that time, and I could have definitely stepped up. It was
a dead year.
I could have stepped up, and I definitely think I could have won it. I felt like in my head during that time I got screwed. I should have.
Do you still think that though?
Oh yeah, definitely to this day. I feel like I got screwed out of that, and I guarantee you a lot of cast members think the same thing too. I feel like during that time that I know I was having a bad time during half of the season.
You thought it could have helped you out.
But for the rest of the season, I still had a long way to go. I could have definitely made it. And then when you get a phone call saying that, yeah, you're not in it. You're not going into Actor of the Year this year. You're like, wow, I just was in it last year. Now I'm
did all this hard work.
I did all this work to try to get into it, and it's like,
because I remember your main reason why you were mad, and I remember this because of the messages. I was going through them before this interview, was because the passion. You always felt like you had more passion than everybody else on this channel, which to this day, I think is very true. 100%. That you had a lot of honesty. I take when I was on, I took it as a job. I took it as like, I want to be able to make this something. I want to make DITV1 something that everyone in the world will know. I wanted it to be a job. I wanted us to make money from it. I know, and I think one thing too that caused a lot of these demons too, around this time, thinking about it now, I think was you were losing interest in it. That, because I remember we all did this for fun. That was something I always threw. And you, I think, forgot that what it was mainly about, the fun. But obviously you knew that, like, you have to put in the work, obviously. But, like, I think you forgot about the fun part and you kind of let that get to you a little bit, I think. Through this.
You know, after winning your first Actor of the Year, you're like, all right, well, now you did it, and now it's time to get back to work. It's time to take this serious. And that's all I've ever done here, was take this serious, because I wanted to see this channel grow. I wanted this to be something that we could look back years afterwards and be like, wow, this is what we did. We accomplished something. You know what I mean? So it bothered me more and more all the time that everyone would take it as a joke, especially like people would come over and they wouldn't give two shits about the channel. They would just care about everything else, and I'm over here trying to bust my ass.
And you're taking time out of your family's time to even do these videos.
Right, and it would make me
mad.
So that was another reasoning why it hurt me even more when you find out you're not into the Actor of the Year category at all. And it hurt me really bad, like where I wouldn't talk Don for a few fucking weeks because
I think one time it was for a couple months we didn't talk. Because if you guys did not know, earlier today I released Jordan Vega, The Future, on Donald's the Best One. Last couple months have been pretty weird with our friendship, and the last couple months I've been getting promises broken. I've been getting bailed all the time.
Yeah.
And I think it was because of Danny and Ben that we, went out to Arby's, we talked it out, and you came to the We Are the Best Video Awards.
Yes, I did.
Which I think that day you earned a lot of respect out of everybody because they realized that you are here.
Yeah.
And I think that was like the main reason why you weren't in that category. But I think looking back now, I regret it 100% because obviously Sherm had the opportunity to, but he did not take that. How did you feel? Because you brought him into the channel, and then for him to be in the category and then not even show up to the award show and then just basically quit the channel, how did you feel?
I was mad. I was really mad. It was more of the fact that you get an opportunity put in your hands. Okay? I get taken out of Actor of the Year, and your best friend that you've been friends with for years and years
gave you a roof too.
Right, he gave me a roof over my head. He changed my whole life around. You get an opportunity in your hand, and you took it for granted. Like you just said, fuck it. It's nothing. It's nothing to you. And I've been sitting here for months on, busting my ass to get to that point of this whole entire YouTube. And you just let it fall to the ground, and now you're still in the goddamn category, and you haven't done nothing. And I've been still busting my ass during the time, even before the award show even happened. I was still busting my ass, even during that time before the award show.
You were trying to prove a point, I think.
Right, and it bothered me more that when your best friend just let you down, and you're 100% his supporter during that time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But at least things are good now between you guys.
Yeah, of course.
Let's get into one of your feuds around 2016 because one cast member you really clashed with, and you still do, I think, to this day. He's not a cast member anymore, but the one person that you've always crashed with was Neil. You want to explain like what your guys' beef is, because it's always been that vibe between you guys.
All right, so I believe scenes when it all started. I ended up leaving the channel for a little while because a lot of things happened, especially when the actor of the year when I heard that I wasn't going to be an actor of the year. Me and Don got into a huge fight. We stopped talking to each other. He made a video and me and him almost got into a fight because of it. And Neil was in it. And Neil was saying things out of his mouth, especially when he didn't know who I was.
Always. Oh, just because you and the clique tried to attack me, you didn't even want to face me one-on-one. So you're weak for that as well. This one time, by the way. I mean, he's been on Donnie a bunch of more times. So now I'm gonna focus on other competitors. So not you. Be yourself, not what your friends want you to be.
And he was just talking bad about me, telling everybody how bad of a person I am when he doesn't even know who I was. I called Don and I talked crap and I told him that I didn't want to see Neil. And ever since then, me and Neil have always had problems, even to this day.
You want to explain the incident warning?
Oh, so at
that was
Warning,
a huge fight that happened after Warning, after that boxing.
So at Warning, I didn't like something that happened. It happened between Gage and Mark. It was supposed to be a boxing match, and it wasn't fair. And it wasn't fair to Mark. That match should have never happened. It should have stopped when it happened. Mark was getting beat up really bad, and I thought it wasn't good for the channel. For the channel,
Yeah.
it looked bad for us. And I tried to have the fight stopped, and no one listened to me. And that night, we came back to the house, and I told Don how I felt. I said, I don't feel like that was right to video cam that whole entire fight. I felt like that should have been stopped. And Don was like, yeah, I agree with you, you know, I understand that.
And I was trying to let him know too around the time, because the reason why I let Mike be the referee was because he does have a background in mixed martial arts, MMA, and that's why I had him as the referee. And I made sure too, with Mike, I said,
at least you're not facing me.
So he's almost out, like on his feet.
notice if he's doing, like, if you notice he's getting conscious, bro, you know what I'm saying? I know, but if he's going conscious, bro, and you feel like he can't do it, dude.
Well, what I'm gonna do is if he gets hit hard again, I'm gonna say break. I'm gonna count to 10.
Okay.
And if he's not responding,
Then he won. Absolutely, yeah. I said if you see anything, so I basically let Mike control that fight.
And
Me, I was
fair.
I was doing, you know, Eric's job, which most of the time was videotaping.
Told Mike that we need to stop this fight. You're putting someone who can't fight against someone who can fight. And Neil decides to stick his head into everything like he always fucking does. And started running his mouth, and I had to walk away because I was gonna knock him the fuck out.
Okay, so then what happened between your girlfriend and him?
Oh, and then they started fighting with each other, and my girlfriend almost knocked him the fuck out.
Okay, so where do you guys stand to this day?
I fucking hate him. If you want the truth, I don't like him.
Now let's get it. Now let's kind of rewind a little bit. We're gonna get into 2017. I think this was, I'm gonna call it for you, redemption year, because you definitely were going through a lot of shit in 2016. And after that, We Are the Best Video Awards, I think you really started to open up. You were ready. You were ready to just go into that We Are the Best Video Awards 8 and take over that place.
So 2017 is my favorite year. My beyond favorite year. Me and Donald came up with the idea of making the first ever DITB1 championship.
What is up, best ones worldwide? It's your boy Don here with the future Jordan.
What's poppin'?
And this is some BTS right now before we do the celebration video. In case you guys don't know, you guys probably know by now because the video's already up. Jordan is the first champion, and he's never seen the title, guys. This is his very first time, very first reaction. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah. fast, huh?
Yeah, it looks actually really sick. Yeah.
Hell yeah, definitely get more off this site.
Yeah. I think the rookies need one next.
Jordan's first reaction, guys. He's in love already with it. Look at that. He's already in love. And this is where the competitions came involved, because I remember being Jordan, he stayed over here, and I think it was for a whole weekend. We sat there literally coming up with new ideas.
We bust our asses on it. Really.
So much hours we put into this idea.
Just making the title took us 4 hours.
But all the storylines, the concepts, everything just came right along, I remember.
And that's why to this day that title means so much to me. I figure out ideas for this title, and that's why it means so much to me.
With competitions
Right.
and the way people are going to contend, events
Right.
eventually, and then the acting we're trying to fade away a little bit too at the time. You were the first DITB1 champ.
Yeah, I was during that time. I talked to Donald. I told Donald, I said, this is not fair. I said, I shouldn't get a title handed to me. I want to earn this title. And Donald said to me, okay, well, you have to face Joey. I said, listen, I don't want to face anyone for this title. I don't want the title. I want to earn this title. I want to be able to fight for this title.
And I think this is me and Jordan, we were clashing back and forth about this, because I really wanted to, have the first challenge as, the future versus basically the best in DITB1, Joey, who made his return as Joey. So I thought, it was a cool once-in-a-lifetime, story, a challenge that maybe we wouldn't have the chance to do because Joey was very busy with the schedule, and you were as well.
So I kept on telling Don, I don't want to, if anything, I'm gonna lose, and that's just how it's gonna be, and I'm gonna start from the bottom. And that's what happened. I ended up losing to Joey in 3 stages of hell, and Joey ended up winning the DITB1 championship.
Your new DITB1 champion, Joey! Yeah! Fuck you, Jordan. Going into that, your first challenge, did you expect it to be as hard? Because I know in that challenge...
Oh, it was hard.
You were very gassed out.
But I was also not prepared for it. Mm-hmm. It was my first time ever doing a challenge at all, and never expected it to be like that. So if I didn't give up, I probably would have won, but I gave up like an idiot. But during that time, I actually did the course really fast, and I actually did it in decent time. Tired.
That cart, and we're in 100-degree weather.
Yeah.
After your first challenge, we saw you kind of take a little step back a little bit. We started bringing back the click. This was something that we had in mind because we missed doing the click videos.
Yeah.
And Sherm was starting to come back over as well around this time too. So it was like perfect. You had you had Sherm, and then Mark became a part of it, but then later became Triple Threat.
He turned on us.
You were supposed to have one of the best feuds that year with Scotty Duvall.
It was basically him against me in the click, and some personal things happened with Scotty, and he couldn't make it, and that's when I decided that we were gonna do click again.
And we had a huge idea going into that with
And it just
with Jordan and Scotty, something huge we were going to do, have Scotty bring returning cast members together, and we were going to have like the clique go against them, and it was just going to be this really sick storyline that could have really helped you definitely get Actor of the Year that year.
yeah. Scotty couldn't do it, and then we tried to switch it up where it was gonna be me and Don versus each other.
Which with the video, it was intense.
It was a sick video. Jumped off a ladder. On top of a deck in the pouring rain.
In the water on me.
Yeah,
I remember.
It was actually sick.
We did crazy shit that night.
Yeah, we did.
We put our bodies on the line. We were sore as hell.
Yeah, we were.
The next day, I think one of probably the best videos that we never released on this channel.
Yeah.
The free-for-all announcement. This idea. Wait, hold on. I need to say this, okay? The free-for-all, that I remember we did this video. The idea of this video was, I confront Tyrone. We introduce a new cast member. Mark the Shark comes in. Sherm comes back. So Jordan comes with Sherm, and basically Tyrone says he will go against anybody. And I remember this was all improv, which your sister did a phenomenal job filming this video. I think the filming of this video made the video what it is.
It was dope.
And I remember everybody in that video scene was shocked because nobody knew what we were going to do. We just freeballed it. And I remember coming up with the free-for-all idea. How about this, Tyrone? If you think you could beat everyone, how about on November 18th at the We Are the Best Video Awards, you put up that title, not only an Actor of the Year, but let's just have a little free-for-all competition. Every man for themselves for that DITV
Every
one
man for
championship.
himself, and the last one gets it.
What?
I like that. So now, how did you feel about that?
It was one of the shockingest things ever. You know, so the video was basically me and Sherm pulled up in the car. We both got out of the car at the same time. It was his return. We both walked up to Tyrone. He had the title and the briefcase during that time.
Yep.
Tyrone said, well, I'll face all of you. And I said, wait, you sure you want to say that?
If I was you, I would just close your mouth because you don't know what you're going to get yourself into.
I exactly know. I'm going to be going against everyone. Future.
The fuck out of here.
Come up with the free-for-all where if he lost, he was out of the Actor of the Year thing. When you heard that part, what was your reaction on that? Because you're his rival.
It blew my mind. When he said that out of his mouth, I was like, it's game on. I'm gonna take that title.
Go into the We Are the Best Video Awards 8, and we had the free-for-all. What's crazy about this moment was Tyrone found his belt, and then you're his rival. You're the one that runs him into those pipes, take the title, jukes everyone out, runs out that warehouse.
And the winner and the new DITV1 champ, Jordan Vega! Fucking! They can't fucking take me down!
That moment right there. What was going on in your head? 'Cause you got really emotional.
It's still emotional. All year that year, after I lost my title, everyone thought I just fell down to the bottom of the map. No one thought I was walking into that warehouse and I was gonna walk out with it. Not even Donald. Not even a lot of people there did not even think I was gonna take that title and walk out.
Because of that first challenge, a lot of people saw that very first challenge that you and Joey did, and you were very gassed out, so a lot of people thought that you didn't have what it takes. But what were you doing to get yourself prepared for the free-for-all?
I busted my ass for weeks at the gym, grinding. Me and Sherman were sitting at the gym for days and days. He was staying at my house. We were at the gym every single day. Every single day we were at the gym. We ate healthy. We were eating salad. We kept ourselves in shape. And every single day during that time, I had a thing with Triple Threat where I didn't like them. So I would watch their videos while I was at the gym.
I did not ever hear about this.
Yeah, I would sit there and I would be working on the bicycles and I would put my headphones in and I would listen to them talk shit. And it would motivate me even more to push my body.
How was your reaction, speaking of Triple Threat? Because the plan was Mark was supposed to be a part of the clique, but then obviously Click-A-Geddon did not happen, so we came up with Triple Threat. And this was all, you saw it from the video, it's the first time ever. How shocked were you?
I wasn't shocked, I was mad. You know, I had Mark at the bottom of my tips. I could have made him something that he probably would have been happy with. And he turned sides on us. And few weeks afterwards, I see a video of Triple Threat being put up and them talking crap about the clique.
Where's this click at?
Hello, Click.
Let's go.
All right, Click. Since you want to play hide and seek, Triple Threat will come and find you.
And that's when it turned into a brawl. I wasn't gonna let Triple Threat sit there and talk crap about us.
That there's a new crew called Triple Threat. Mark, I brought you here on DITV1. I decided to be the nice one and let you join us. And what did you do? You turned around and backstabbed us right in the back.
We were the baddest group in DITV1. You know, no one could beat us. Mm-hmm. We were at the top of our game. You know, and then I'm thinking to myself, now I have to go against everyone in a free-for-all. And it's just me. Planned on.
You had Sherm helping you out a little bit.
Listen. Me and Sherman did something, okay? So, Don eventually introduced a new title. And it was the Rising Star Championship belt.
That year, yep.
Okay? And whoever won Rising Star of the Year would be the first ever Rising Star champion.
Sherm stepped up.
Bobby Sherman ended up winning the championship. And me and Bobby have always been sitting here for the past few weeks afterwards, saying to ourselves, we're both going to have the titles. One way or another, me and you are going to have the titles in our hands. You know, that's something me and him as a friend always wanted to do. When he had that title in his hand, when he won it, I said to him, it's my time. And he looked at me, he said, go get that title. And that's what I did. I went into that warehouse against a whole bunch of other people and 3 members of Triple Threat. And I had no one besides Bobby Sherman. And, you know, I seen Tyrone hit the corner and I knew it was game over. I blacked out, I threw him into the pipes, he dropped the title on the floor. Alex went to go grab it, he missed it. I grabbed the title, I started running, and I was dragging 2 other dudes behind me. And that's all I remember, me grabbing 2 other dudes. They finally let go of me, I hit the corner, and I seen Mike.
You juked Mike.
I seen Mike, and I juked him. I stiff armed him. Jumped over, and then I ran to the door as fast as I could, and I walked out with my DITV1 championship, and it was one of the most emotional days of my life. I told my son the day of that I was going to do this all for him, and that we were going to take home that title. And my son gave me a high five. He said, Dad, we're going to win this. And it was the most emotional day for me because me and my son's my everything, and for me to do something for him, and me tell him that I'm going to do this for him, and me do it, it brought me to tears because it made me the most happiest person in the world. I did something that I told my son I was going to do, and I told everyone else I was going to do. I told Tyrone beforehand I was going to win that title, and there was nothing he was going to do. And after that day, he retired.
With the free-for-all, because you broke down. You were emotional during that moment. Do you think that moment right there, you running out the warehouse with that title, was that better than winning 2015 Actor of the Year?
Yeah. The reason why it is more special to me is because I went from the bottom. I lost my title, went back all the way to the bottom to prove a point to everyone on the roster. To prove a point that I told everyone that I was getting rid of my title because I wanted to earn respect. I wanted to earn the title. I didn't want to get it handed to me. I was tired of everyone saying I was getting everything handed to me.
Yep, because a lot of that was from backfire from the Future character.
And for me to work hard and bust my ass, even though I had to start from the bottom to get all the way back to the top, it was all worth it. To win in a challenge that I wanted to win so bad. I beat everyone. I'm the first person on DITV1 to beat every single cast member. Everyone. And walk out with the DITV1 championship wrapped around my waist.
So now we know after you won the free-for-all that you had a very big target on your back.
Oh, yeah.
And we had the Rising to the Star challenge where we had to find a #1 contender to face Bobby Sherman off for his championship at the first event against all cards. And I remember this was a moment, another defining moment, because everybody in that challenge thought they had a fresh chance. They had a fresh opportunity to go to Against All Cards for a championship. Then there's a twist. So there are 6 of you. This is anybody's game. But on DITB1, what do I always tell you guys? You want to be the best, you got to beat the best. This would not be a challenge without the best one here.
Whoa.
Your DITB1 champion is in this challenge. So please welcome the future Jordan Vega.
Don was been talking about this challenge for weeks, saying that we're gonna do it and you're not in it. You're not allowed to be in it. You are the champion. You're not allowed to be in this competition. 2 days before that competition happened, I called Don. I said, I want in on that competition. He said, no, Jordan, you're not. I said, Don, I'm not on this channel to not compete. I want to compete for this champion. I want that championship. I'm gonna compete for it. You're gonna put me into it. He said, you want it? I said, yeah. He's like, fine, you're in it.
Everybody was shocked. Nobody knew going into that filming day that you were gonna be in that challenge, and you proved to everybody that you're still the best.
You gotta get up! It's still in! Yep.
He's out, he's out, he's out!
Yes!
Jordan got it!
Fuck yes!
The winner is Jordan Vega!
During that competition, you know, it was hard, and me and Alex came to the conclusion that we had to work together. You're not winning this by yourself. It's triple threat versus all of us. And at that point, you know, I told Alex, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you win this.
How you feeling? What's your plan?
I'm playing as Alex gonna win.
Alex got suplexed by Mike.
They triple threat ganged up on Alex, and that's when you had to take the star.
Yeah, you know, the last 3 seconds Don counted down. Everyone was on top of it. Everyone was on top of the star. And I was on top of Alex trying to help him, but he was getting crushed, so he let go of the star.
Worth it!
Alex, you gotta grab him, bro! Shoot me out!
He came down to me and Neil, and I just ripped that fucking thing right out of his hand. And then I looked at Sherman and I said, you're fucking next. And I never got to face him.
Now let's get into that. You and Sherm's feud that we never got to witness or see. What was going on around that time?
So during that time, me and Sherman couldn't agree on something. You have to realize, Sherman is 200 and I want to say 75 pounds. He is more heavier than me. I'm fucking 5'10", 204 pounds, okay? And we couldn't come up to an agreement, and it came down to hurting his feelings. I didn't want to be my best friend and then him not want to do this anymore. So it came down to a point where I'm like, all right, well, I can't do this. I'm gonna lose my friend, and he's gonna be off the channel, and then we're gonna lose a cast member.
And around this time, we couldn't afford to lose anybody.
Right.
Let's get into the dream match at Doomsday, where you faced Chance in a non-title challenge, where you guys had that horseshoe in the middle. You guys ran to grab it, and you had to get to the other side. Now, facing Chance, having the honor to face Chance, how did that feel?
It was amazing, you know, especially to be able to face someone who is the same size as you. Both is crazy. We're both as crazy as each other. We're both the same exact person. We faced each other, and we had one of the craziest matches between each other.
Physical.
And he ended up walking out with it. You know, I ended up losing breath. I was really out of shape. I didn't go to the gym in a while, and I've been lazy. You know what I mean? So, and I'm not saying that that's the reason why I lost. I lost because I lost, but you know, if I would have had the time, I feel like it would have been a way better match between us two.
It was very quick planned because I remember Chance told me that he was planning on moving out to Florida. I remember, so I said, wow, we have Doomsday. I really want to get Chance to come and really make this dream thing happen before he leaves, because there's so many scenarios I wanted to do with Chance. Crazy scenarios. I wanted him to match up with you. I wanted to have Chance and Joey one last time as well. Also, I think Chance would have made a great challenge with Mike. They would have freaking tore it down.
Yeah, they would have.
If they did that. But now, you know, short time, and I had to think of one person, and I thought the one person that really deserved this opportunity to face a legend like Chance was you.
It was a blessing.
After that challenge, the angle of the year. I think that this was one of the craziest ideas that we had, but it couldn't really go anywhere because around the time you did move to New Hampshire, so you were traveling 3 hours to come from New Hampshire to Mass to do these videos and events. And it was for, I think for Warning you had to do the 3-hour drive. A promo shoot you had to drive 3 hours, and then I remember for Doomsday you had to ride 3 hours to come here to do Doomsday. So I remember distance was a huge factor in why this angle never really worked out. Triple threat we had. It was you, Mike, and Gabriel. And I remember they came out. You were they came out, surrounded you guys. Then obviously Sherm came out as well, and then you turned on. They attacked Mark, and you turned on Sherm. So now that fantasy booking, when it comes to that moment right there, do you think that that triple threat angle of you joining Triple Threat could have been something really special?
Oh yeah. I've always wanted to join them. I feel like me being a part of them would have made that group a lot more stronger. You know, to have a man who's won a championship, who has had that experience, you know, bring that over to a group that's never won it.
And I think Mark wanted to be on his own too.
Right. So by me going over there and trying to get one of them to win the Rising Star Championship, you know, it would have been special for our group.
Made things interesting. Because I remember at the events during the big challenges, you would always get everybody riled up to go against Triple Threat. And I remember me being behind the scenes. I did not like that because, you know, you guys really didn't have alliances. Like, you and Alex, you guys weren't ever cool on like, obviously off screen you guys were cool, but not on screen. So, like, it didn't really make sense. You were getting everybody all riled up. So it was, like, basically 10 versus 3. So I think for me, the main plan was to get you to be a part of Triple Threat, take Mark's spot, so that none of that would happen. Because you were always the freaking man that would get everybody riled up. Who's going to beat Triple Threat? They would all say, we are!
Really?
You were the commander. They were your soldiers. Okay, so I had to change that immediately because it was not making Triple Threat look good, and I always had, like, Triple Threat was getting views, so I needed Triple Threat to be good. But it did get a lot of backlash, it did get a lot of heat because people were like, well, it's not the same as the original 3, which I could see where they're coming from, but I think that if this storyline really went through, it would have been something really special. Because I know Mark, this was supposed to be a big push because I remember the plan was originally
me versus Mark.
It was you and Mark were supposed to main event Glorious. But I remember around the time you had to give up the belt.
What's up, best ones? Nick here coming at you with some breaking news. Due to the recent events at Doomsday, where Jordan brutally and unnecessarily attacked both Bobby Sherman and Mark, I am left with no other choice but to strip him of his title.
Going through that day because you realized how hard it was traveling all the time, and you know you had a lot of stuff going on around the time. What was going on with that time? Like when you gave up that belt, like what was like? How did you feel? Because you didn't even go to Glorious, I remember.
Man, that sucked. It really did. I called Don, and my title was here. I never left my title. Never. My title was with me all the time. I had it at the house, and it sat on my dresser, and me and Don ended up getting into a fight a while ago, and I ended up just starting to leave it here. I called Don one day and told him I won't be defending my title. He said, "What?" I said, "I'm giving up my title. I can't defend it anymore." He said, "What are you talking about? You're lying, right? You're definitely coming to the event, right?" I said, "No, I'm really giving up the title." I said, "You have to find someone else." He's like, "Why?" I said, "I just can't." He ended up talking about it, and he said, "You're right, you can't do it. It's not gonna work out." I said, "I'll still help manage this and help you do Glorious and, do everything that we need to get ready for it, but I won't be there."
And I think around this time, I can say was the downfall of DITB1, because a lot of people around this time were always looking up to you. You were really a leader going into 2018. You were the guy that was getting everybody together, motivated. Because I remember the first event, Against All Cards, everybody was on the same page. Everybody was excited. You had everybody motivated, ready to go. Then at Glorious, so from February to July, when you weren't there, very chaotic. You had people behind the scenes going at it, and it was a big mess. I remember, especially the main event. We had that controversial ending with Neil and Joey.
Oh, it's fake. Oh, suck what I've been doing. It's a fucking joke. I can't fucking open them. I can't fucking open them.
And I think that a lot of that wouldn't have happened if you were there. With your decision of leaving, do you regret that decision?
Yeah. I feel like if I would have never left, I would still be the DIT1 champion. I hate it every single day that I got rid of it, and it hurts me seeing someone else have it compared to me. I've had it for a long time.
Because you defended it successfully against Joey. That was your only title defense, though.
Yeah, I beat him blindfolded.
But do you think you should have defended the belt a little bit more? You think?
I feel like I should have, but I've been so busy. Just getting down to New Hampshire was hard.
Now, the final thing I want to talk about on Where Are They Now with you is Tyrone. The feud with Tyrone. If DITB1 had one final show, I asked Tyrone the same question. If DITB1 had one final show, would you face Tyrone?
Of course. I've been trying for months and months to get Tyrone to come back. And I've been trying to... I told Tyrone before that I want to face him one last time.
Now, with Tyrone, to face Tyrone one last time, because what's really interesting about your guys' feud is that it's real. You guys have always been at it since the first day you joined Donald's the Best One, DITB1. You took his 2015 Actor of the Year from him, and you even took the DITB1 belt from him in the free-for-all, which after that he retired. You made the one in DITB1 retire. Where are you now?
So, I got married to my beautiful wife, Kathleen. One of the best days of my life. Then we had a baby. Her name's Amelia. She was born October 12th. And she's the best. I love her. I came back to DITB1 this year. I won the Rising Star Championship, which I am still the champ. Because walked into Glorious, my first ever Glorious, and got to compete against one of my good friends, Mark the Shark, and one of the most brutalest matches that I've ever been in. Probably my favorite competition to this day. It's right up where my free-for-all championship was when I won. That was a special day between me and Mark, and I'm so grateful to be able to have that moment with Mark this year. And then me and Donald's relationship, we got a lot better, actually. We talk a lot every day. He's changed into a whole different person. He's a way better kid now. We've been friends from day one, and we're brothers now. You know, a bond that can never be broken between me and him. I'm so grateful to have a friend like him around. Love every one of you guys. Thank you so much for always having my back, always supporting me, watching our videos.
Next time on Where Are They Now?
It's Big Surge.
Nope, I didn't fully hear you. I couldn't understand you.
Rapping is just a daily routine, killing this rap shit, and I'm only 16.
And I made a lot of, mistakes along that way, big mistakes.
Now, if you want to be a wise guy, you gotta learn how to play the game. Now, if you want to be a wise guy, you gotta know how to play the game. If you want to be a wise guy, don't act like this asshole.
He was stirring the pot. Tyler was stirring the pot. Years later, now people see me make music. They're like, oh shit, he never gave up.
What were some of the issues going on?